I have a question for you. Has there ever been a Transformer so weird, so bizarre, so uninteresting, so unpopular that no one ever really talks about, that you have just obsessed over for years and years and you really enjoy him? No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Cybertron Longrack. So let's set up who and what Cybertron Longrack is. Cybertron Longrack is a retool of Armada Hoist into a Beast Wars Neo character, released in the Cybertron line. Who thought of this? Who thought, let's take Armada Hoist and retool him into Longrack, the Maximal from Beast Wars Neo? Who thought of this? And why does it work so freaking well? Let's back up. Let's back up. Beep, beep, beep. We're backing up. Back when I was a kid, I had so many of those Armada product pamphlets that showed like all of the figures in the entire line. And it was themed to like the different planets or whatever. It was based on the wave that the figure was released in. And it's kind of my goal to get like all of the original unique characters and sculpts and molds from Cybertron. And oddly enough, some of them are retools from Armada. And one of the last Armada retools I needed was Longrack. And this toy makes me so happy because he clicky, he chonky, he have big scoop, he giraffe boy. I love him. I found this at the toy department. It was in the glass case for $10. I walked up to an employee and I'm like, hey, there's something in the case. It's super desirable. I'm shocked it's still here. We need to hurry and take it out before anyone else grabs it. And he follows me and I'm like, I want Cybertron Longrack. And here he is. I love him. So obviously he is a construction vehicle. He's one of those vehicles that does some constructing. He's got a big old arm, and you can see all these little armatures attached to the arm. He got some treads. He got some nice little treads. He has this big old counterweight thingy, and I love how painted it is. It's so nicely painted. He also has this over here, which is just very obviously a robot mode arm, but that's the transformation. That's how it goes. Yeah, it's a pretty simple alt mode. You can see the cockpit right there. It looks pretty nice. And yeah, it's a big scoop. Now, if you want to do the scoop, sorry, doesn't really work too well. Yeah, it's kind of not really working too well, unfortunately. Unless you have the Cyber Planet key. This is where the retool comes in. Because for Armada toys, what activated their gimmicks was Minicon integration, and for Cybertron, it was Cyber Planet keys. So you insert the Cyber Planet key, you insert it just right there, and it unlocks the full potential of the scoop. It unlocks the full potential. And yeah, it moves pretty far. It opens up pretty well. You can articulate this little thumb, I guess. You can articulate the thumb. I don't know if it's supposed to be like folded back for the the alt mode, but it kind of makes sense that, you know, it might be used in this capacity for the alt mode as well. I don't know. It works very nice. I really enjoy it. Yeah, we'll remove that so we can experience the excitement again in the robot mode. Yeah, there's not much else to say for the alt mode. It's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple alt mode. Let's transform this guy. Cybertron Longrack's transformation is nothing short of life-changing. This truly changes my life. Not because of the complexity or anything, but because of the click. So clicky. Oh, you hear that echo? Oh, geez, it's so nice. And then his knees click as well. He has just so much click. Oh, geez. He is such a nice, clicky boy. Then we'll flip the feet. And you can pretty much guess how the rest of this is going to go. It's pretty simple. So what we all thought was his arm is the arm. And he has like this little claw hand. And you do have a port for a Minicon still in there, which I appreciate, since Minicons were still a thing in Cybertron. And you have a Minicon port right there. And shocker, the scoop just becomes the other arm. But last but not least, we still have his head to unveil. And when we flip out his head, we can see It is all of the Beast Wars Neo goodness that it's all supposed to be. It is a brand new head sculpt just for this Longrack retool. And you can tell that's Longrack. That's Longrack from Neo, and it looks really, really nice. I feel like the reason they wanted to make it Longrack was because he kind of, like this big arm, it's almost like a giraffe neck in a way. Like, it's not for no reason. It doesn't come out of nowhere, you know, it's kind of like the giraffe equivalent of a vehicle. It's got this massive arm, and Longrack's robot mode had the giraffe head as a shoulder pad, and you can see that, you know, kind of gives the same energy. So the silhouette wise and like the proportioning and the weight, it really works for Longrack. It really does. And on top of that, this caution striping too kind of just invokes the giraffe striping. Like, this is such a clever retool. It really is. This figure is just pure joy to me. It's just pure joy. I love him. He's big and chonky. He's just full of click. Like, his shoulders click in 2 different ways. I love it. He's just so solid. When I was driving home with this guy and I stopped at red lights, I seriously just picked him up just for a second and just clicked him. I felt like such a child playing with a toy at a red light, but I was just having so much fun with him. And yeah, he's great. He's just absolutely great. I love Longrack. He is my new favorite boy of all time ever. We still do have the Cyber Planet key, and we can integrate that into the arm once again, and we can once again have him whoa, whoa, whoa. But awesomely, we do have a new feature. Ooh, what happened? Oh, the Cyber Planet key came out. That's interesting. If you remove the Cyber Planet key when it's extended, it stays extended. That's actually good to know. But reattaching the Cyber Planet key, we can actually rotate this whole assembly as well. And it's not very rotatable in the alt mode just because of the sizing and everything. But yeah, it allows you, if you want to display them like this instead. I personally think that's a bit of a shelf hog and doesn't look the greatest, but you still can. And you can have it like this as well, which I think will look looks really cool with like certain like uppercut poses. Like if he's uppercutting a Decepticon or something. And again, when you remove the Cyber Planet key, it stays in that pose. So if you want someone like propped up in that scoop for a pose, that would look really, really cool. Just putting the key back in, it will collapse. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how that mechanism works, but it's really clever. It's such a good mechanism. And it's so solid. It's just so solid. Now you may be asking, why did I want to make a video on Cybertron Longrack? It's kind of a complex thing because this isn't the kind of figure that, you know, has an old versus new I could do. It's not new. It's not relevant. It makes me happy. I wanted to talk about an old Transformer that just makes me happy. Something old that I've been searching for years and years, never finding until I just stumble into a local shop and they got it for $10. Literally the price of a trip to fast food nowadays. Like, this costs nothing. But it was just such a joy to see it behind that glass and to grab it and to play with it. And this is just so great. I got this at the toy department at the same time I got the Deluxe Ironhide I've also done a video on. And honestly, I've had more fun with this. It makes my soul happy. But I also do have to accept the bias of Transformers Cybertron was my childhood. That was the Transformers line that introduced me to Transformers. Like, not just GoBots. It was Transformers Cybertron. So it has a lot of meaning for me. This guy has a deep imprint into my childhood from seeing his picture on those big old catalog things included with the toys, which, by the way, I really miss that. I wish they would include that again. Yeah, it makes my soul so happy. Finishing him off, his articulation. He has a very nice ball joint at the head. You get a lot of up, decent side to side and everything. He has outward at the shoulders as well as forward. You can see it's going to be kind of limiting, but still, it works pretty nice. It's pretty good articulation. You can rotate this big arm and obviously extend it like I showed. He does have a bicep swivel right here. You can bend the elbow, and you can't rotate the hand or the forearm, unfortunately, but you can open and close the fist if you want. It still looks a little awkward. I kind of wish you could have it like this, so it almost looked like he had like a fist, but it's okay. It's okay. You just can bend it the one way. It does have waist articulation, which is really nice. That articulation also does work nice in the vehicle mode as well. You do have hips that move forward. They move out. Nice. You do have nice clicky knees, and you actually have some ankle tilt, which is pretty nice. Mostly goes out, but you can see it does leave the ankles tilted a little bit in. If you want to give him an A stance, you can do that. And he does have some toe, too, but it just goes down just for transformation. He has, like, this gray piece right here. You would almost think that that's supposed to, like, slide, but it doesn't. And also, like, he has this wheel right here on his crotch. So it doesn't really have a way to slide. It's just kind of there. I don't know. Very odd. I guess that's just how they designed it or something. Yeah, Cybertron Longrack. I just needed to make a video on this glorious boy just to talk about an older Transformer that I've been waiting ages for that I'm very happy I finally picked up. Yeah, I'm kind of just clicking him around just for the sake of clicking him around at this point. Let me know what you think. Are there any weird, obscure Transformers repaints or just older figures that you've had your sights set on for years and years that maybe you're still looking for, or maybe you just finally got? Let me know down in the comments below. Special shout out to channel members as always. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.